Windows alternate data streams. Anyone who is in the security arena should know about Windows alternate data streams, otherwise known as ads. Though not highly publicized, lack of this little-known attribute of the Windows NTFS file system may affect how you solve a problem in the future. Ads were introduced into the Windows NTFS file system starting in Windows NT 3.1. This feature was implemented in order to allow compatibility with the Macintosh Hierarchical File System (HFS). In brief, the Macintosh file system stores its data in two parts: the resource fork and the data fork. The data fork is where the data is actually contained, and the resource fork is used to tell the operating system how to use the data portion. Windows does a similar thing through extensions such as .bat, .x, .txt, HTML. These extensions tell the operating system how to use the particular data found in the files. For Windows to be compatible with the Macintosh file system, they introduced alternate data streams. This hidden stream is used as the resource fork was used to tell the system how to use the data contained in the file. Though ads was created for compatibility with the Mac world, it is not solely used for that purpose. Many applications use ads to store attributes of a file in them. For example, if you make a text document and right-click and go into its properties, you will see a summary page. This summary information is attached to the file via ads. I will show you more on that later and applications to see this information. In summary, think of ads as hidden files that are attached to the visible ones. The main reason they are so dangerous is that they are not well known, are generally hidden to the user, and that there are few security programs that can recognize them. Before I continue, I want to mention some, not all, programs that can be used to view ads. This is so as you read this tutorial and follow some examples, you can actually see the ads files that you are creating. A new ads has just been created called hidden.txt and attached to the file test.txt. The ads file is shown after the and must be used when adding an ads. If you wanted to view the ads hidden.txt or add information to it, just run Notepad to open the file. Notepad will launch and say this file does not exist and would you like to create it? You would say yes, and then enter the information and save it. This method has just created a new ads called ads.txt. Ads files do not have to be attached to a file, but can also be attached to directory. This causes a problem when you create an ads against a root of a hard drive, as it makes it impossible to remove the ads unless you reformat. If someone knows of a program that can fix this, please let me know. This command has now attached an ads to the directory itself. Run lads to see the ads attached to the directory. What if I told you that ads can also be used with executable files? That's right. Ads files that are executable can be attached to any file, just like you attached .txt files. And just like the text files would be hidden from most software, you have now created an ads file called hidden.x and attached it to the text file ads.txt. Once again, if you dear the directory, you will just see ads.txt and not hidden.x. Run lads, and you will see the ads. There is a caveat to launching executable files that are ads files. You must always use the start command to launch the ads executable, and you must always use the full path of the file. Here are some examples of working commands and non-working commands. Ads files are not particularly hard to delete, but they can cause problems. In order to delete an ads attached to a file, just delete the file. Let's say, for example, that you have a file called number.txt and there was an ads attached called hidden.txt. You want to get rid of the hidden.txt file, but keep the info in number.txt. So you just can't delete number.txt. In order to delete ads files that are attached to a directory, you need to delete the directory. This can cause a major problem if the ads is attached to the root of a hard drive, since you cannot delete the ads in this way unless you reformat the drive. You can do this to get rid of the unwanted information in the ads file. Since I wrote this tutorial, there have been a few malware programs that have been released to infect your machine using alternate data stream files. Due to this, there have been improvements in the software available to remove these types of programs from your computer. One program that will search for ads files on your computer and then provide a list that you can remove is ADSSPY. You can find a link to that program below. In the beginning, I mentioned that there are other uses for ads files. Certain files in Windows have a summary tab in the properties. One example of this is .txt documents. If you create a new .txt document and right-click on it and select Summary, you can fill in some information. This information is saved as ads files attached to the document. For example, we have a file called readme.txt. If I go into the summary section and enter my name into the title field and press OK, that information will be saved as an ads. As you can see, ads can definitely be used for much more than was bargained for when Microsoft introduced them. They have the legitimate uses, but can definitely be used for darker intentions. Hijack This is a utility that produces a listing of certain settings found in your computer. Hijack This will scan your registry and various other files for entries that are similar to what a spyware or hijacker program would leave behind. Interpreting these results can be tricky, as there are many legitimate programs that are installed in your operating system in a similar manner that hijackers get. One of the top questions I see on forums is, how do I know if I have been hacked? When something strange occurs on a computer, such as programs shutting down on their own, your mouse moving by itself, or your CD constantly opening and closing on its own, the first thing that people think is that they have been hacked. In the vast majority of cases, there is a non-malicious explanation. We hijack this genutzt Weird Browser Hijacker plus Spyware zu entfernen. Hijack this tutorial in German. Hijack this sollt nur benutzt werden, wenn ihr Browser oder Computer immer noch problemorpheist. Nachdem Sie Spybot oder andere Spyware, Hijack Entferner laufen hatten. Hijack This ist ein Programm für fortgeschritten und benötigt der ein Erweiterungswissen über Windows und Operationssystem im Generellen. Wenn Sie aufgelistete Element löschen, ohne zu wissen, wo sie sind. Tutorial Hijack This. Comment Utilizer Hijack This pour supprimer les pirates de navigator. Les pubs and les espiogiciels. Hijack This ne doit être utilisé que dans le cas où votre navigateur ou votre ordinateur continue à avoir des problèmes après l'exécution de spybot s and dou d'un autre nettoyeur d'espiogiciels, spyware pirates, hijackers. Hijack This est un outil évalué. Et par conséquent il requiert des connaissances approfondies. If you use a computer, read the newspaper, or watch the news, you will know about computer viruses or other malware. These are those malicious programs that once they infect your machine will start causing havoc on your computer. What many people do not know is that there are many different types of infections that are categorized in the general category of malware. VMDR Vulnerability Management. Detection and response, discover, assess, prioritize, and patch critical vulnerabilities in real time and across your global hybrid IT landscape, all from a single solution. Text source, bleepingcomputer.com.